keep track of your feelings throughout the session. Okay, I would like to begin with asking why you're all here today. Milkman, would you like to start?
Well, I guess I just want a place where I can finally express my feelings. I want to figure out a way to get my life back on track.
That sounds like a great reason. Is Milkman your nickname or just your name?
It's a nickname because I was nursed throughout my entire childhood.
And what about you, Seth? Well, from the beginning of my life, I was a slave on a horrible farm. I witnessed all sorts of things. I was torn away from the people I loved. I'm here today because I killed my baby to save her from a life of slavery. I think it was the best choice. Wow, that sounds really difficult. Thank you. What about you, Coca-Cola?
Well, it was just really hard for me to understand what was happening because I was only 11 when everything happened to me. My father raped me and then I lost the baby. And today I have an obsession with having blue eyes.
Wow. Thank you. What about you, Sula?
When I was little, I had 3 friends, one of which drowned when we were playing by the river. Then I watched my mother burn to death and lived in a haze the rest of my life. Every time I visit my hometown, everyone thinks of me as a curse because I'm so different. So I've come to these meetings to better myself and get over my past.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. How do you think that living in your community has affected you in general, and are you unhappy living in your community? Milkman, would you like to start again?
Well, I never fit in my community. I did on the outside, but on the inside I always felt out of place. When I was in school, I was teased and beat up a lot. And even though my family loves me, I really don't know how to love them back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Seth, what about you?
Well, no one really comes by and talks to me ever because my house is haunted by the ghost of my little baby that I killed. So I'm very lonely and my community is not very supportive.
Wow, that does sound really hard. Pocola, what about you?
My community didn't support me at all. They were scared of me almost because I had a baby. Everyone avoided me except my 2 neighbors. And then when I lost it, they blamed themselves.
Oh. And Sula, what about you?
I believe people who lived in the bottom were all damaged goods, and by us all living damaged lives, it's hard for us to move forward.
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So, Pocola, how is your relationship with your parents? And also, I know you mentioned you wanted blue eyes. Do you still feel that way?
I don't really talk to my parents because they fight all the time, and my mom beat me, and my dad raped me, and so I don't talk to them. I haven't seen my dad since that day, and I do have blue eyes.
So, Sula, do you feel that your relationship with Nell can ever be the same after your relationship with her husband?
I don't know what to expect from now. We were really close as kids, but things have changed, and it's hard to go back to the point in time where things were still good between us.
Seth, do you regret what you did to your daughter, or do you think it was justified? And also, how do you think being a slave affected you?
I do not regret what I did because in my eyes, death is much better than slavery. And I see it that way because my experience with slavery was so incredibly horrible that I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I went through.
And Milkman, what made you change your ways? How did this transformation occur?
Well, I learned a lot about my family's history, and I met some people who really want to be a part of my life. After I discovered the place where my grandfather escaped slavery, I was able to come to terms with my feelings, and accept my flaws, and start to heal.
Well, thank you all for coming and sharing your experiences, and we can all meet back next week and talk about anything else that you'd like to talk about. Thank you.